Hi, I'm Chelsea Husum, your host of the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and mom of two. And I'm so tired of women not feeling like they can show up as fully expressed versions of themselves. So here, we're all about that unapologetically, because honestly, we don't have time not to. Literally, because we're busy as F moms and entrepreneurs, but also figuratively, because we don't know how much time we have on this planet, and we want to make an impact now. But if we're doing this, we're making it real vibes only. So let's get inspired, laugh our asses off, quite possibly cry, and feel like you're sitting on the couch with your bestie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast with Chelsea Husum. I am so glad you're here. You guys, today I have my friend Catherine Roten with me, and you guys, you have to get to know her. She's amazing. Thank you for being here, Catherine.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. I'm excited to see where the conversation takes us today.
Yes, I feel like we could chat forever. But here, everybody, Catherine spent a decade in the hotel industry where she found her passion and purpose strategizing, planning, and coordinating events. She has taken the leap into entrepreneurship, starting Impactful Event Co., where she is helping entrepreneurs curate intentional and soul aligned events. I love that so much. Catherine is on a mission to simplify the event planning process so you can reclaim your time and energy to focus on the important areas of your life and business. Love that so much because I know, I know people that plan events, it's like soul sucking so much energy and time and whatever. And you are aligning or you're approaching it a different way, which I love that.
Yes. And it's so important for me to be able to do that. And we can dive into all of where it came from at some point. But it's
Yes.
it's definitely a passion of mine and turning into so much more of the foundation of what I do.
Well, I love that. Yes, we will definitely dive in. So, first, I want you to share with everyone you worked in the hotel industry and it was a toxic corporation, and then you went in, then you jumped off the cliff to become an entrepreneur like me, totally crazy in the most wonderful way possible. So, can you tell us tell us a little more about your journey and like how did you make that pivot and that change?
Yeah. So it started when I was in the hotels. So it was fall of 2022, actually.
Okay.
And I had felt on my heart for a while that something wasn't right because I thought my entire life was going to be revolving around hotels. I thought I'd move up to general manager. I would move into owning my own boutique hotel. I knew entrepreneurship would fall somewhere in there, but I really thought it would be specifically hotel related. And then it's like the bottom flew out from under me, and I was like, oh, no, something's not right anymore. So I started listening to Lori Harder's Earn Your Happy. She introduced me to Lindsay
Love that.
Schwartz, Powerhouse. And over the course of that next year, I realized that there was other possibilities out there that wasn't hotel or hospitality related, and I could still enjoy it and
Yeah.
excel and be successful. So I dipped my toes in as a travel agent, funny enough. That was like the first entrepreneur, did my own thing, but I'm still covered
Love
under
it.
another company, safe.
Yeah. Try
I
it
was
out
still
a
just
little
hanging
bit.
in the net, and it was okay. And honestly, I hit January of this past year, so 2024.
Mhm.
And I had at that time left hotels, gone into the promotional product industry. And I had been introduced to this whole world of inner work and breath work and
Mm.
Reiki. And there's this idea that you need to build your own self trust and be listening to your own intuition. And I will tell you, it was standing at a huge trade show. 10,000 people were there, and I was working a portion of it. And I had one experience, and I went, this is not right for me. This is not where I want to
Oh.
be. And I was like, I don't know what to do because if I'm going to leave my stable job, I'm going to leave the stable income, all the benefits I've known my entire career in
Yep.
hospitality and corporate. And my husband, I love him to death, but I'm the breadwinner. I didn't know what we would do if I were leaving. And he was like, you are so unhappy and so sad and
Mm.
frustrated so easily right now. He's like, I don't care what it is. We'll figure it out.
Oh, that's
And
huge.
yes, I'm so grateful to have someone who is so supportive in that. And I told my boss beginning of February, I gave them almost 2 months actually of hey, I'm going to get ready and go. I knew there was one big event in March. So I knew I had to get through that event. And I was like, but I'm leaving. I can't keep doing this anymore. And it really was just this knowing inside that there was something else out there that I had to go after. And I'll be honest, when I left corporate, this business I have now was like a very much a baby and is
Oh,
nowhere
yeah.
close to what it is now.
Yeah, like, literally, you're, like, standing there like, "Oh, okay, now let's do some stuff." You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Like, you're
Oh,
literally
100%.
creating it.
I
Yeah.
had one coaching client, so I was doing event coaching, but the funny thing is, like, she even wasn't hosting her own events. She had a retreat center in Costa Rica. So we were just
Oh,
strategizing and I was coaching her through what she needed to do and how to start marketing. Same thing, but it was definitely not what I expected, but it
yeah,
was my first client and I was so
that's great.
excited.
I love that. So it is, it's such a scary thing, and you know, if you're starting a company literally from scratch, you are I remember the first year I barely did anything, and but it's a lot of building and putting things in place, and you know, a lot of connecting and reaching out. So what was maybe the hardest thing to overcome when you first started out? And then like, yeah, like what was your biggest lesson from that?
Yeah. I'll be honest, networking, connecting was not an issue for me. I mean, we met each other basically a
Yes.
year ago at this point of the
Yes.
recording, and I loved attending events. I love putting like myself in masterminds and with coaches.
Mhm.
The hardest thing when I left corporate was actually creating myself a schedule and holding myself accountable to it. And it was creating those systems, those like literally the foundational systems you need in your business to make sure that you're accomplishing, you're tracking, you're keeping
Yeah.
things in line. And it took me the first 5 months probably of this business to really start to like sit down and be like, Catherine, you have to figure out the systems and you need to make sure you have some way to hold yourself accountable because yes, it's great to have coaches. Yes, it's great to have other people, but there you have to hold yourself accountable as well. And so I ended up changing over my email system I was using and kind of took out my website because it was just draining my time and energy just updating it constantly. And
Yeah.
I ended up uh, what did I end up doing? I ended up getting Asana, the project management system.
Oh,
And
nice.
that has been my saving because I was keeping, I'm a written person, written notebooks,
Me too.
planners, but it just wasn't holding me accountable the same way I needed to. And to see it in Asana and see all the tasks I need for today to get done, and then breaking it out into subtask and more subtask was just, it's become my beautiful and like saving grace and everything in business. But if I had not done that 2 months ago at this point, 3 months ago, I wouldn't even be where I am right now because I just was not tracking and keeping up with all the little things I needed to get done.
It is hard. I mean, I love my paper planner. I people still make fun of me, and I'm trying to like do people are trying to have me schedule appointments, and I'm like, "But I forgot my 25 planner at home because I'm not used to bringing it." And they're just like, "You're a freak." Yes, yes, I am. But
Yep.
and actually before we got on this, I was just redoing my paper to-do list that I it's on Google Docs, but I print it out, and I like cuz I like to cross off stuff.
I love
But
it.
it's I mean, it's ridiculous. I did finally for my construction company scheduling go to a Google Calendar so I can physically see it because yeah, that there's certain things just doesn't work to write it down. And
Mhm.
then certain, you know, is good. It goes in your brain more, all that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
I
Well, all
love
my
that.
notebooks just started running together as well, and my even
Yeah.
my planners, and I was like, "I think I'm forgetting something. I need a
Oh, you
place."
are.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep,
somehow,
exactly.
somewhere, like, you're like, "Dang it, I know there was something." Yeah.
Exactly.
But then same with technology, I sometimes like, when I get my emails read and done, I put them away in subfolders, right? But
Mhm.
every so often, I'll have my phone and, like, put it in my pocket, and I see I delete an email or something, and I'm like, if it was in my inbox, it's important, but I don't remember. And then it's like, oh, the abyss of technology, right? I'm just,
Yep.
yeah. So there's that side as well. Well, I love that. Thank you for sharing. It is, you have to know, like, manage your time well and know what you're doing and keep you on track. Otherwise, you're not going to make any money, right?
Exactly.
Can you speak to however little or much you want to say, but the financial management and, you know, same with me. Starting, you need funding or you know, a lot of people think I'm going to start a business and I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. Well, very likely you're probably not making any money and you're probably losing money because you're forked out a bunch to get it started. Can you just talk like how was that working through that and taking that leap?
It's in a huge mindset shift, to be completely
It
honest, and
is.
I have completely invested my own money. So almost
Me
all my
too.
savings, my emergency fund. I mean, it's something again, me and my husband went through. It's that has been what is getting me by at this point. And
Yep.
I knew that going in, and yet at the same time, there has been an underlying that fear and stress. And I will be honest, it was like that until about 2-3 weeks ago, and like
Okay.
that recently, something happened in me that was like the momentum's starting to be seen,
Yep.
and I know it's coming. Like, I
Yes.
know the connections I've made, the networking I've done, the money I have been investing, and it's been a lot of money, is going
Mhm.
to come back to me. It's entrepreneurship's a long game. It's not going to
It
happen
is.
instantly. It's not.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, it's really been a mindset shift and understanding that what I'm doing right now, my investments are good investments too. It's not me going and spending willy-nilly money on these fancy cars and things where I'm not
Yeah.
going to get a return on it. It's going to
Exactly.
come back. But it's been difficult. And I mean, I'm still in my technical first year of all of
Mhm.
this, and I'm not fully seeing the return, but it's putting my head down now. And honestly, I've gotten so much more intentional where my money is going. What events am I attending? What masterminds am I going to be a part of? Who's going to coach me? It's being very intentional that I now know when I make that investment that it's going to help me hit that goal for 2025 at this point, or hit that goal before the end of this year.
It is, and it's having that faith in yourself, but it's scary, like, having for me, having my home on the line. I forked I coughed up a bunch of personal money to start my company as well. So, you have skin in the game, like, if you fail, like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, you
Mhm.
you have to figure out a way to make it work, and but it is so different than working for, like, corporate or whatever, just going to your job, getting a paycheck, and coming home, like, it matters. Everything matters, and you gotta figure out a way to make it work, and it is
Mhm.
I love that. It totally is the long game,
Such a long
completely.
game.
It is.
And it's so hard yet so exciting too about that,
It
because it's like you
is.
don't know what's coming quite yet. So each little win I've learned, I celebrate. Every bit of money I make, even if it's $20 that
I
comes
love
in,
that.
I celebrate now because I wasn't before. I was like, it's
That's
only
good.
$20. But that was that mindset around it's like that lack of money that I had to kind
Yes,
of rewire and be like, no, it's $20, Catherine. Like, you just made $20 from someone. They invested
exactly.
in you. They're trusting you in whatever this is.
And it is, it's like, if you're focusing on, "Okay, I spent all this personal money, no money's coming in yet," you're operating from, like, desperation, and, like, obviously, we know that blocks everything that's coming from you. That's not gonna bring your clients to you. You have to be more in a flow and operate from more peace instead
Mhm.
of that desperation kinda aspect.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so I would love to hear, because every single day of mine is totally different. People are like, what's a good day for you?" I'm like, "Well, it totally just depends, but what is a typical day in the life like for you? And then what's your favorite part of it?"
Mm. Someone hasn't asked me this question since I've been in entrepreneurship. I'm like,
Oh,
"Oh,
you're like,
man,
"I
this is a
own
good
my
one."
time and it's glorious."
Honestly, every day's a little different but I am starting to get a like system in, like I mentioned. So I have specifically 2 days a week I do meetings and calls.
Okay,
Those days I get up, and almost every morning we walk with my dogs. Me and my
nice.
husband do. It's a way just to get the blood flowing, get up and get moving. It's been 20 degrees in the morning recently, and we're still doing it because we
That's
just know
good.
how good we feel. We just bundle up and layer up and go. But it really starts with the movement piece. We come back, and I usually try to do some type of journaling, reading, meditating. It doesn't look the same every day. I give myself options on how I'm feeling. And then I'll usually jump into the day. And recently I've invested in a co-working space, which has kind of been a game changer for me to get out of my house and be able
Yeah.
to be in a different environment around other people. And that's where I really just start knocking out things. Some days it's going to be scheduling the emails, writing and scheduling, creating the content. The other days it's me working on events that I'm helping plan or coordinate. And then other times, like I mentioned, it's meetings. So podcast interviews like this, because I have my own podcast. It's going
Yep.
on other people, speaking in communities, coffee chats. I really try to find throughout my week a balance of being heads down, doing that CEO work and the things I need to do, but also still trying to connect and network. Even though it's not as quite as much as I did in the past, I still try to make that a priority to do a few times a week, because I know that makes a difference in just getting myself out there and making sure I keep connecting or reconnecting with people. But my favorite part of the day, has become the transition, I think, from working to my evenings, because I used to not do this. I'm a sucker for bringing my work home or like keep working through the night.
Yeah.
And recently we have started, and it depends on the day. Sometimes I'll just go to the gym and walk laps inside, or do like a stretch or a workout of some kind. Other days, again, my husband and I will go on a walk together. That has become my favorite thing, because it's become the moment I know, all right, I'm finishing up my work day. I got everything accomplished. I get to kind of think about those wins again that
Yeah.
I had. What did I get done? And then I can transition into, okay, spending time with my husband, actually making dinner together, things that I didn't really get to do in corporate, that I forgot about, honestly, at the beginning of entrepreneurship, that now's become a priority. It's make dinner with him, or sit while he's making it, or he'll sit with me while I'm making it, whatever that looks like. Or have some part of the evening where we're doing a puzzle, or we're playing a game, or watching a movie. Like, that's why I left corporate, was because I was losing all this time with my family. And now I'm getting that again. And so we've
I
kind of
love that.
rekindled that and brought it back. So that's my favorite part, honestly, is the transition into the evening.
Calling all badass moms and entrepreneurs ready to stop surviving and start thriving. Y'all, I am officially opening spots for one-on-one mentorship. This is designed exclusively for the women who know they're meant for more, but feel stuck in the chaos of balancing business, motherhood, and everything in between. I'm not just another coach. I'm a proven business owner who's built an award-winning company, written a best-selling book, launched a podcast, and built a platform, all while raising a family. If you're ready to get unstuck and take bold action, master time management and boundaries, build an unshakable CEO mindset, and prioritize your energy without guilt, then let's make your next level happen. Faster, smarter, and with zero apologies. This is not for the excuse makers. It's only for women ready to go all in on themselves. Remember, spots are limited, so if you are interested, head on over now to Instagram and send me a DM with the word mentorship. I cannot wait to talk to you, girl. I love that. And it's so true. That's cool. There's so many cool co-working spaces now. I check them out. I'm like, oh my God, these are amazing. But it is hard. I work out of my house, and what you said, change of scenery, sometimes knowing you go there and okay, now head down, bust it out, let's go. You know what I mean? It maybe at home you're like wandering around or doing laundry or
The dogs
I
are barking, and then I keep taking them out, or I start snuggling and
yeah,
playing with them. I'm like, "Oh, there's work sitting there."
yeah, like today I was looking in my backyard, and because all these birds are flying around because the deer broke my bird feeder, and the I moved the bird feeder up to the table right by my back door, and still the birds, they know it. And but it's empty, and they're like
Oh,
flying around. I'm like, my birds need me. And then I'm like, okay, better go better go to work.
yeah.
But yeah, it's nice because you can do stuff like that too. But
Mhm.
also, yeah, sometimes you gotta bust it out a little bit.
And that was the thing, is I didn't do it, and I didn't wanna spend the money, because again, financials are tight right now. I didn't
Yes.
wanna spend the money on a co-working space, and I went one day. I had met someone locally in town, and they're like, "You should come check it out." So I came one day and checked it out. Chelsea, I got the most done I had ever gotten done in like 2,
Uh,
3 hours.
love
So
it.
it doesn't even mean I have to be there for 8 hours. I can
Yeah.
go in for 3, 4 hours and knock out so much more work, because I know I get my shit done,
Yep.
and then my dogs are home, and I still can get home and take care of them and let them out, and they don't get crated up all day.
Yeah, it is. It's like when I was writing my book, I would grab my laptop and go to a coffee shop and be like, okay, for this hour or 2 hours, that is all I'm doing. Because I feel like when I'm at home, it's all construction. I get pulled all over. But that I found doing that, I would just really, that's how I finished my book and got most of it done, was just busting it out there. And it's that energy shift, right? You just, I don't know, something about it. It's
The
and
buzz.
and and there's so many different, like, co-working options. It's not like you need a dedicated office. You could do the lower end, cheaper one, and you just go and get the vibe, really.
Yep, and that's what I do. I don't
Yeah,
have my own private office or anything.
and
It's
you
just
don't
a
need it. Yeah,
No. I have a
yeah,
stand All I wanted was a desk that went up and down so I could stand up, and they had one, and
perfect.
I went, "Perfect, that's all
Oh,
I need."
nice. I love that. That's so cool. Okay, so if women it is so hard to take the jump, right? We're like batshit crazy in the best way possible. I say entrepreneurs are, because it's true. People are like, "Oh my
Mhm.
God, you're insane." But if there are women that are thinking about it, or they're feeling like there's something more, but they're scared, and it's that fear, and there's so much unknown. There really is.
Yeah.
What would you share with other women on the same path? Like, what inspiration or advice would you give them if they're standing on the ledge, feeling like something more?
I think it's putting yourself in the rooms of some kind, and it can be virtual, and this is where the investment's up to you ultimately. If you want to invest a lot of money and go to some big rooms and spend a couple hundred or $1,000, or you just want to go locally, or you want to go virtually, because there's so many free networking calls now out there these days, I feel like.
Yeah.
But it's putting yourself in the rooms to be connected with these other people who are doing the things. That is literally what I did. I put myself in the room of Powerhouse Women in 2023. I knew nobody in the room. I had no idea this world of personal development and entrepreneurship with all these women. I came from a place where a lot of us competed against one another, women
Yeah.
against women, women against
Mhm.
men. Like, it was just such a competitive space. And when I stepped in there, I went, oh, we can be supportive of one another. And they're doing the same thing that person's doing and that person's doing. And they're not like butting up against each other. They're supporting and cheering each other on, because everyone comes with their own unique kind of
Yes.
perspective and
Yes.
options and offerings. So it's really putting yourself in those rooms, putting yourself in those situations where you can interact, or go on Instagram and DM someone and say, I want to jump on a coffee chat. Like, see what if they're doing something that inspires you or motivates you. Just ask if you can get on a coffee chat, or if they have a recommendation of a call that you could get on, that you could meet other women who are similar to who they are or what you're wanting to do. That literally is what changed the trajectory for me into getting into this world. And it was continuously doing that is how I took the action to so quickly leave and step into entrepreneurship and do what it is. Not everyone can do that, and I understand that, but keep putting yourself around those people,
Yep.
because that's when you see those possibilities, and you know it's possible for you, and you can start to create that plan and figure out, okay, how can I leave? How can I make that jump?
Yeah, it is to hear those stories. We've obviously started companies, but to hear other people's stories and you're like, dang, okay, she overcame a lot and she's killing it, right? And I
Mhm.
love this. So, because was it the first, it wasn't even the first time we met was it the first time we met at Illume at
Yes.
last year? Okay.
Last year,
Because
yes.
I feel like we met so much further back. But how funny is this? That, we met there, and
Mhm.
then we saw each other at the pitch club in Scottsdale,
Yes.
and randomly I'm like, "Girl, you're here. What's up? You're here." And then at Powerhouse again, we're wandering around, and
And
like
then we run into each other.
it's so cool. And I will say I went to Powerhouse Women in it's, every August in Phoenix and Scottsdale. It's this gorgeous resort, so like just go.
Yeah.
But with Lindsay Schwartz, and I went in 3 years ago by myself, and I remember going there and I didn't know anybody. And Lindsay was like, the creator of this event was like, "Oh, are you here with the other women from Denver?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even know them." And she's like, "Well, there's like 10 of them. Let me introduce them to you," which is now Christine. And she runs Illume in Denver, the Illume Collective for Entrepreneurs. So it's like, I never would have met her, right? But
Mhm.
Lindsay wanted, "Oh, you need to meet these people." But met people there. I've gone to all these other events over the years. So I've met people in California, Texas, wherever. And then I see them now at Powerhouse, like you. So it is putting yourself in the rooms,
Yes.
connecting yourself, like opening yourself up to that magic. You don't know what it is.
Oh,
And
you
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 don't
have
know where,
no idea.
yeah. And like those connections of women you're going to meet, you don't know where that's going to take you.
No.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and that's, I think, the beautiful thing is they show you the possibilities, but then you don't even know, is it gonna be them? Is it a ripple effect of people they know that you start to connect with? And
Yeah.
it just becomes this huge, it becomes your community. It's your support system of people that help you, show you what's next and the possibilities. And then you get to now make that decision and take the like leap and say, okay, I
Yeah.
am gonna do it.
Yeah, and you never know, it's connection, and I feel like whatever industry you're in, connection and relationships is that's how you grow and are successful ultimately, right?
Yep. It's not what you know, it's who you know, as they
It
say.
it totally is, and it's not like you're out there sucking up to people. I've been
No.
hearing over and over, like, if I meet somebody who's really successful, right, and is doing what I wanna do, what value can I try to offer them? And that, like, thinking of that, like, I'm not just trying to get stuff from them for me. I
Mhm.
should be just looking always, what value can I offer these people, right? And
Yep.
eventually, you will have that relationship where the value is going both ways.
Exactly.
When you are completely exhausted and overwhelmed, where do you turn for inspiration or motivation? And or like, kind of, if you're in a funk, what do you do to dig out?
Yeah. This is a great question, and I feel like I've been in this a lot recently, to say the least. But the quickest way for me to do it, if I'm really not being resistant, because that's the issue, is I feel like resistance comes up sometimes in these moments as well. But if I really can just do breath work or meditation for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, get away, reconnect with my breath, reconnect with my body, it is crazy how on the other side, I actually feel so much better and that motivation comes back and the energy comes back. Now, like I said, this is not an everyday thing and something I'm willing to do. I'm actually very resistant sometimes to doing the breath work and truly sitting quiet. Stillness does scare me because I don't know what's going to come up. And I
I
think
love
that's
that.
typical for a lot of us. So the other thing I do if I'm not really willing to do that, or maybe I don't have 30 minutes to step away, maybe it's 5 minutes or 10, I'll get up and move. I'll go walk outside for some fresh air, might even do laps just on our porch in a circle just to move my body, get the fresh air and move that
Yeah.
energy more than anything is what that is because I've been stagnant. I've been staring at my screen for a while. Maybe I've been writing quite a bit. Maybe I've just been sitting thinking so hard about something that I'm like, everything just needs to move. So that's really the two different ways I do it. Walking, moving is a little easier and quicker, but truly breath work and meditation is where I can get quicker results on the other
I love
side.
that. Yeah, I agree with the getting outside, get something about the fresh air, standing in the sun, just moving a little, really, because we're in
Yep.
our office, like working, sometimes, and then you're like, I'm not the center of the world, of the universe, chill out, right? It just brings you really
What?
quickly back down. I love,
Yep. There's so many other things happening around
yes.
you. It's like, oh, it's not that big
Right.
of a
Yeah.
deal.
Chill out. Just chill out a little bit.
Yep.
All right. Will you tell everyone about, okay, so I want everyone to know about your podcast and then about your event community that you're creating as well.
Yeah. So my podcast is Imperfectly Impactful. I started actually, so at this recording, I'm a day past a
That's
year
so
of it officially
amazing.
being out. I I can't believe it, to be completely honest. Like I'm in shock, and part of me was like, has it really been a year? But when I started it, it really was me wanting to share my story and what I was going through. I had actually my mom, my sister telling me, don't do it,
Really?
you don't have the time, you don't have the space, you shouldn't be doing it. And I was like, but something about right now and not doing it completely in hindsight, there was something there. And so it really was talking about how you don't have to be perfect to make an impact on yourself
I
or other
love that.
people. And I bring on guests, which Chelsea will be
Yes.
coming on soon on mine as well, and sharing their stories and their journeys and getting to really share what it's like to be in entrepreneurship. But some people, it's even are still in corporate, and I love them being able to share what it's like to be happy there
Yeah.
too, because not everyone is meant for corporate, but not everyone's meant for entrepreneurship, I've really learned. So it is changing slightly. I don't know exactly what that entails, but some more strategies coming behind it. And I do still talk about events on there too. I do little series where I get to dive into, because that really is like my passion and where I feel my purpose is, especially right now in my life. And as Chelsea mentioned, I've officially soft launched the event host community, which I I will say has been on my heart for 7, 8 months. Almost, it's like a month into leaving corporate, I thought had this idea, and it basically is filling a gap in the event industry right now, because there is the option where you can host an event. It's easy to put together and it's more like a party, or you're hosting it somewhere and it's a very easy happy
Okay.
hour. There's not a lot of details behind it. So it's easy for us as entrepreneurs to manage it, plan it, and put it together. But then when you start to want to do something that's actually intentionally part of your business and part
Mm.
of you, and that's going to be a funnel, a marketing tactic, something to really spread your message out there, we get to that overwhelm and stress that there's so many details to manage, but you might not be able to afford a planner quite yet. And that's what this community is the in between, where you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for a planner to come in and help you with all the details, but you're not wanting to just host something fun, a party. Like there's actual intention still behind it. So we officially fully kick off January 2025, and it's what I thought was going to be 20 resources has turned into 30
That's
plus
so
resources,
great. That's
actually.
so great. Yes.
um, yes, live calls, Q&A calls, vendor training calls, and then we're going to throw in some networking and co-working opportunities, but it's just a space for you to come and feel supported in the planning process of your event that you're hosting without having to spend the thousands on a planner. So I'm
That's
thrilled.
so exciting. Yeah. Kick it off. It's like it'll be here before you know it. The kickoff call or what, you know what I mean? So for your
hmm
talk about impactful event like what kind of people are you helping there? Or are you doing from smaller stuff to like full event planning? Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a lot of fun. There's a huge variety. I'm working really with anyone that's hosting like 10-person retreats all the way up to 200 plus person
Okay.
conferences and events. It's a little bit of everything in between as well. So piece of that is the community, and then the other portion of it is my one-on-one clients. So mostly what I'm doing is like a coordinating planning
Okay.
blend. So it's where I help with some of the planning. I won't do all the planning for you, but I do take over the 30-day mark, kind of those last final details, the tedious part where you really should be in your business and still networking and connecting. But there's all these other things happening behind the
Oh,
scenes. I take that
nice.
over and then I come on site and do the coordinating for
Oh,
you
I
as
love
well.
that. Yeah. So if you're listening and I know a lot of people that are doing retreats, events, all kinds of stuff. Keep Catherine in your mind. Please reach out. And it's so customizable, right? Everything's so different, but you listen to this is what I need. Okay, here's what I can do for you. So
Mhm.
I love that. That's so fun.
And that's the cool thing with the community now too, is it's provided me a space now as well, that if someone doesn't want my full support, they still have a space to go and they can access. Doesn't have to be all 30 resources. You might need to use
Yeah.
10, but it's all there for you if you need it. How I say it is, you take what you need and give
I
what you
love
can.
that.
It's not that you have to use
I
it
love
all.
that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. Like do I get to see you next week? Are you going? Oh no.
No, I won't be
Oh,
there. I'll be in
that's
Arizona actually again
oh,
briefly.
nice.
So
Well, I'm sure we'll see each other at yet another event soon. It'll be a nice surprise for us. So, but where can our listeners find you, and then how can we support you?
yeah. Oh, so easiest way to connect with me is Instagram. It's at cat.roten. So Roten. And then we do officially have the Instagram account for at Event Host Community.
Okay.
So it is the Event Host Community, has its own page. And then supporting me, just come connect with me if you have an event on your heart and you haven't done it before, or you already have been doing events and you're seasoned and you're like 20 in, still come connect with me. I would love to see if there's a way I can support you, or just follow along. I'm always constantly learning. So I love connecting with people who have been hosting events for a while, because there's always something new
Yep.
happening and people do it differently. And that's what I love to see, is all the different ways people can host events. So yeah, just come follow me, join me in my world, and yeah,
Listen
let's
to her
connect.
podcast, all the things.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. It was so great to chat with you, and I'm so proud of you. It's like you're in the beginning, but you took the leap, and look at you. You're glowing and you're thriving, and it's this next year is going to be a big one for you. So I'm so proud of you, and thank you for sharing all your wisdom with everyone.
Thank you,
Yes.
Kelsey. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
And so, everyone, thank you for listening to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. If you loved the episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can say thank you and meet you. Or share it with a girlfriend who you know would love this too. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. See you next time on Lip Service and Lashes.